With more contrived delivery than a statement claiming the HCG was for a personal medical problem, I'm Matt Straq. This is That Sports Show. All right, the defending champion Celtics have been knocked out of the playoffs, but like a critic searching for meaning in a McConaughey movie, we were left unsatisfied. So it was late last night that the TSS writing staff gathered around the 27-inch Zenith for our bi-monthly viewing of Spike Lee's opus, He Got Game. As usual, it didn't take long for the meaningful questions to surface. Why is Ray Allen better at acting than Mila Jovovich? Why does the end of this movie feel like being spit on in the subway? And can we all get together and demand that Denzel wear this hairstyle in every film? As usual, these questions were all asked. But this time we also were able to put down our Zimas long enough to notice that at one point in the movie, Jesus isn't just being seduced by Rosario Dawson and an Italian stereotype of an agent, he's also being sought after by the local gangland representative, appropriately named Big Time. While simultaneously taking note that Spike's gang member shares a nickname with one of the TSS bosses, we also got to thinking, what have been some of the other links between sports and organized crime? We'll start out with disgraced OSU running back Maurice Clarett. Certainly you'll remember that it was August of 2006 when Clarett was pulled over after a car chase for driving erratically in Columbus, Ohio. In his SUV behind a raving Clarett, police found 3 handguns, an assault rifle, an open bottle of Grey Goose vodka, and a hatchet. During the arrest, police reported that Clarett was doing his best impression of Michael Douglas in Falling Down, even taking things to the next level by wearing a bulletproof vest. And 2 weeks later, we found out why. As first revealed by ESPN, beginning in 2004, Clarett had been lent money, cars, bodyguards, and a Malibu beach house by a mafioso from Israel, of all places.
Smell it, now take it. That's for you.
The two agreed that Clarett would repay this mitzvah with 60% of his rookie NFL contract. When Clarett was released by the Broncos, he couldn't make good on the promise, so he went ahead and did what we all do when the bill collectors start calling. He sharpened his hatchet, he bought a whole bunch of unregistered guns, he got drunk, and he drove around Columbus, Ohio. Next up, the only principled referee in the NBA. Principled in that he's actually admitted to making the wrong calls, at least. In 2007, friend of the show and well-known good neighbor Tim Donaghy, an NBA referee, was arrested after an FBI investigation into game fixing. Though not nearly as bad as Shaquille O'Neal's acting in the movie Blue Chips, the revelation that an NBA ref had been manipulating point spreads was still shocking. And things got even juicier when the New York Post reported that Donaghy had been working with members of the Gambino Mafia family as part of a widespread conspiracy to influence the outcomes of NBA games. Though this storyline could have made for a great Nicolas Cage movie, it was later reported that the mob ties in the case had been embellished and Donaghy was sentenced alone. Finally, we turn to the seediest and most disreputable of all organized sport. The sport that only the most unscrupulous engage in. Of course, I'm talking about ice dancing. Come along with me, if you will, back to the halcyon days of the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah. The powder was fresh, the air was crisp, the Mormon death grip on the city had been slightly relaxed, but still things weren't as idyllic as they seemed, because what we only found out later was that skullduggery had been afoot, as a Russian mobster had colluded with figure skating and ice dancing judges to fix the outcomes of these two competitions. The mobster was arrested the following summer in Italy, charged with the fixing, and also accused of fixing beauty contests in his home country. Call us old-fashioned here at the show, but we prefer that contestants receive free breast implants before pageants, instead of death threats. It just feels so much more American. And with that, we have to imagine that Papa Shuttlesworth would be proud. You know, if he weren't still rotting in Attica after the warden screwed him on that plea agreement. Come on, Spike, you couldn't have just given us a little bit of sunshine there at the end? Maybe father and son getting an ice cream, riding the tilt-a-whirl, or shooting some free throws? I guess not. But that does it for us, again, on another episode of That Sports Show.
Nonsense perseveres, prayers laced with fear, beware. Two triple O. It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but damn the game if it don't mean nothing. What is game? Who got game? Where's the game in life? Behind the game, behind the game. I got game, she got game, we got game, they got game, he got game. It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but the game if it ain't saying nothing.